England are through by the skin of their teeth. Now this is what happens when you operate out of fear. Southgate is the prime example of operating out of fear. And you can apply this to all of life. Many people in life are operating out of fear. And when you operate out of fear, you do two main things which limit you. You refuse to make changes and you refuse to take risks. Two things we saw Southgate do, not just tonight, not just throughout this tournament, but over and over and over again with the England team. Even if we take it all the way back to the Euro 2020 finals, when England were 1-0 up and all over Italy, look what he done in the second half. He decided to sit back and hold on. Just like today, we go 2-1 up, and instead of actually continuing and basically using the momentum and confidence within the team, which was suddenly flowing in them, finally, after freaking 95 minutes, finally we have some to just wipe the floor with Slovakia, make it 3-1, complete game, done and dusted, actually show what this team can do. Nope, straight 5 at the back. Why? Operating out of fear. Pure fear. So afraid. I don't know what his fear is, because it doesn't make any sense. Look at the team. Look at what we have on the bench. Look at the players who he didn't even pick. There's endless talent. There's endless opportunity, essentially. Like in life, people, you look around at life, there's opportunity everywhere. But some people, even when they have it, they don't recognize it. They don't use it. Why? Because it might be a risk. Why? Because he might receive criticism. Is he afraid of criticism from the press? Oh, he took off Foden and Kane. Is he scared of them? At this point, you got to start asking yourself that. Is he afraid of them? What? Is he afraid of the actual backroom staff? Is he afraid of the players? Because where's this fear coming from? Or is it just in him? Is he just somebody who is incapable of taking risk, taking chances? Because yes, say if we did lose, but we're playing the football that this team is 110% capable of playing, cool, the fans will be onto you. But because you lost, because ultimately in football, what really, truly, ultimately matters is the final result, which is why at the end of today, Southgate will still, to him, he's won. Like, this is why he was celebrating. That is me on the pitch, yeah, or anybody who has a distinct winner's mentality. They will not celebrate that. How can you celebrate that? You should go down the tunnel in shame. You put your fans through pure distress for 90 plus minutes after doing so 3 times prior to this for 90 plus minutes. So this isn't a one-off. Fair enough, it's a one-off, it's a tight game. No, this was a lackluster, shambolic, diabolical performance all around. Yeah? And then you have the nerve to celebrate as if you've done something great. All you've done is go through to the quarterfinals, to the Euros, which on paper, and not even on paper, like realistically, looking at every team we've played and the team we just played in that game, Slovakia, it's a necessity. There is no need for celebration. Cool, let the fans celebrate. Let them have their moment of joy. But you as the players, after playing like that, and the players only mimic the manager because the manager is leadership. This is why ultimately the most important thing in life is leadership. Whoever is at the top is going to dictate everything else. You can have the greatest of the great, like England do have right now. They have the most expensive squad. They have, I would argue, the most talented squad alongside France, right? And still, they cannot perform to the standard that everyone expects of them. And it's not even just an expectation. Everyone knows, it's known that this is the standard that they should be operating at because they are proving it with their clubs, right? So who's to blame? Yes, blame must always lie on the players, but the person who pays the price ultimately is the management, is the leader, whoever's in charge, because they bear the responsibility. You get the ultimate reward when you win, but when you lose, you suffer the ultimate consequence. That is just the role of a leader. That's what you sign up for. You have to be willing to take the good with the bad, right? And the leadership is freaking atrocious. Like right now, if we didn't win, right, people would be... The reason anyway, at the end of the day, to me, football is just a game. It's not that deep. But the reason why I'm even reacting to this is because it shows that it's so nice when England act. It's because the vibe and the spirit that comes with something like football, right? Especially for England, yeah? It just makes everybody feel that much better. People's lives are already, trying not to swear, I don't know how to put it, but a lot of people are very unsatisfied and unhappy with their life and the way that the world is going and that. So it's nice when you have something that can give you a bit of joy, because it's a knock-on effect. You see your team doing good, a lot of people are like that. Me, it has zero impact on me. Like, if England lose 6-0, doesn't matter how much I'm supporting them, I'll be pissed off for a moment and then that's it. It's not going to impact my life whatsoever. But for a lot of people, because they are so emotionally invested, like, it has a knock-on effect on them. So this is why I like it when England wins, because the knock-on effect is so positive and it just adds to that vibe, especially here in London. Like, when England are winning, the vibe is nice. And that is what's so frustrating. It's like Southgate is stealing that from this country. And whoever put him in charge, the FA put him in charge, yeah, they're stealing that from this country because they know how impactful England winning and England playing well is. And the problem is they are so capable of it, yeah, and they're stealing that. So they deserve to be criticised, especially when you're operating from a place of cowardice like Southgate is. Now, to be honest, our next game against Switzerland, how are we going to do? The way it's looking, I think Switzerland... You know what it is though? Even this game, I called it, that this is exactly what's going to happen. I got it the wrong way round. I said England will score first, it'll be 1-0, and then Slovakia 1-1, and then we'll win 2-1 in extra time. It was the other way round, so it was even worse than I expected. But it's got to that point now where I can't even expect anything from this team, despite all the talent, despite all the potential. And it's sad. And it's all because of this guy operating out of fear. So what can you take away from this for your own life? Don't be a Southgate. Don't operate out of fear. Operate out of love. If Southgate was operating out of love, he would be taking risks, he'd be taking chances, there would be spirit in the game. Why? Because you're operating out of love. You're doing it for the love of the game. Yeah, and this can be applied to business, your own personal life and relationships, how you treat people, how you put yourself out there, and of course, in sports. One thing before we go, see that Jude Bellingham goal? That is the way that you operate when you have full 100% self-belief and confidence and know what you're capable of. Imagine he had missed that. But do you think that crossed his mind? No. Why? Because of his self-belief. His self-belief and self-worth is so high, he had the balls to even attempt that. And you see what happens? When you have balls, when you have confidence, you do the unthinkable. You do the thing that will shock people. You do the thing that is worthy of praise. You have those moments. And that is why Jude Bellingham is the player he is. And he will continue to shine and probably have one of the greatest English football careers we've ever seen. Momentum, confidence, self-belief, all of these things that apply to sports, apply to real life. In real life, if you know what you're capable of, if you have a track record of being able to do things so you know what you're capable of, if you have self-belief, you will take those life-changing risks, because that risk he took changed everything for the tournament. So call the tournament the life, right? Tournament equals life in this instance. You need to take that risk with your life and it can change the entire course, because until then, there was 10 seconds left, England were going out. That risk that stemmed to be able to take it from his self-belief changed the entire trajectory of this Euros. Who knows, we might go on to win it now. And imagine that. It will all come down to the fact that Jude Bellingham took that insane risk and produced that moment of brilliance. Your life can be the same. Take that insane risk, produce that moment of brilliance when everyone thinks, as you're doing it, what the hell are you doing? Because as soon as you went up for that, people must have went in their head, whoa, what the hell is he doing? Why? Just stand on your foot, side kick it. Why are you doing that? Take that risk. People may not understand it at the time that you're doing it, but when the result comes, they'll all believe in you and give you a pat on the back and say, we knew you were great. It's just the way of the life, man. It's how it is. So, that's the simple takeaway from this. Anyway, let me know what you guys think is going to be the score for the next game, Switzerland v England. Are we going to get through to the semis? We should, but you never know with this manager. Anyway, remember, man, at the end of the day, we all have a choice. Elevate or deteriorate. Love.